this. So let's say at the very top. So we're just going to work through this slowly, okay? So suppose you bought 36 feet of rope, and you wanted to cut it into 4 smaller ropes of equal length. So just think about the problem. We've got 36 feet, okay, and we're going to cut it into 4 smaller ropes of equal length. So I hear some numbers. I hear a 9. I hear we're going to cut it into 4 parts, right? I hear some of these answers. Are all of them right, actually? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, no, they're all right, okay? So think about it. How did you get 9?
I divided it 36.
36 feet divided by 4 equal parts equals what? 9. Now look at the next questions. Represent this situation both as multiplication and division equations. Okay, I got the division, right? Because I divided the 36 by what? 4, and I got 9. How can I represent that by multiplication?
9 times 4.
I could just actually cross multiply. Remember when we did this? I could cross multiply, what would I get? 36 times 1 equals 9 times what? 4. There we go. Okay? 9 times 4. That was pretty easy. Okay. Create a multiplication box to represent all the equations above. All right. Well, multiplication box, I would say 4. This is easy because there's only one box. And 9. That's a multiplication box. Okay. 4 times 9 is what? 36. You could also do a multiplication box just like this. 4, 36, and then this way I'm going to divide here what's in the box by what's outside the box. So 36 divided by 9 is, divided by 4 is what? 9. So I can divide out of the box. Okay, 36 divided by what? 4. This is the part that goes on top, though. What's in the box goes on top. Divide out the 4, and it'll give me 9. Or I could multiply the outsides to get the what? Inside. Everybody got it? These are the 2 ways that a multiplication and a division box work. Okay, pretty simple there. Okay, use the polynomial multiplication box. Perform each multiplication below. Okay, let's do this. Now, I'm going to have a box like this for this equation. Why am I doing that on number 1? Why did I draw my box like that on number 1? It's actually not a number 1, I guess, but the 4x plus 5 and the 2x. Because there's 2 terms in the first polynomial, right? Everybody see that? 2 terms are 4x and what? And the 5. And then there's 1 term that it's going to get multiplied by, which is the 2x. So that's why I made my box the way I did. I like this one to go there, the smaller one to go there. It just makes it easier. There's my 2x. What am I going to put my 4x and my 5? Not in, but on top of what? The boxes. Why am I putting it on top? Think here. Am I multiplying or am I dividing? I'm multiplying, so I got to put it on top. Everybody got it? If I'm multiplying, I put it on top. If I'm dividing, I put it in. Everybody got it? Okay, so this one's a multiplying. Okay. Now, how do I multiply? I take the 2x times, multiply, 4x. Don't add them. Where kids get in trouble is they add them. You've got to multiply them. 4 times 2 is 8x what? Squared. Don't forget to add the exponents of the values. Everybody got it? Don't forget to add those exponents of the values. So I took x to the first, what's 1 plus 1? 2, that's how I get x to the second. When you multiply, you add the exponents. You might want to write that out to the side if you forgot, okay? If you knew that before I even said it, you don't have to write it down. But if you're like, oh yeah, that's how we got x squared, then write that out to the side. When you multiply, add the exponents, okay? All right, what do I get on the next box then? 10 what? X. What's my answer then? 8x squared plus what? 10x. You just keep the sign that's with it. That's my answer. Was that hard? No, pretty easy. What do I write then on the next one? What type of a box do I want? A what by what box?
4 by 4. I mean 2 by 2.
2 by 2 box, so there'll be 4 total boxes. Okay, everybody draw a 2 by 2 box. Okay, so 2 by 2, which makes 4 total boxes. What should I write on the left side? Jax, what should I write on the left side? X and negative 5. Notice he kept the negative with that 5. Very good, Jax. That's very important that you keep the negative there. Alejandro, what should I write on the top?
X -7.
X and -7. Again, he kept the negative with that. The negative is key. Okay, because that's going to do some multiplication as we go. All right, let's just fill in the boxes. So Matthew. Is it Matthew?
Yeah.
Okay. So what am I going to get in this first box?
X squared.
X squared. Just X times what? X is X squared. Okay. What am I going to get in the first row, second box? Does everybody understand where I'm talking? First row, second box. Addie, what am I going to get? What? Negative 7x. Very good. X times negative 7, negative 7x. Pretty easy. McKay, what am I going to get in the second row, first box?
Negative 5x.
Negative 5x. Again, looks pretty easy, huh? And then, this is the tricky part, because kids mess this up. Derek, what's going to go in that last box? 35. A lot of kids mess that up and they'll try and put a negative 35 there. But it's really a negative times a negative is a what? Positive. All right. Now, here's the tricky part. When I write my answer, that is not my answer. It's helping me find my answer. What's the tricky part as I do this answer? Yeah, you look across
and add the same terms.
and you'll add the same terms. So you might remember this with lattice multiplication.
Would this be 12?
Okay.
Negative
And what do I end up with then?
Negative 12x?
X squared still goes first.
Oh, well,
Then what? Negative 12x. Then what? Plus 35. A lot of people think about this as and this is why we set it up this way, by the way, so that you don't get, so you make sure you get all the like terms. They think about this as a kind of a parallel line ladder type thing. So all the x squareds will line up in this column, all the x's will line up in this column, all the numbers without x's line up in that column. You with me? Now, it's really easy when there's only a 2 by what? 2. This makes it easy. But as we get bigger, it still will make sense. See, and that's the important part. Okay, so this is the actual answer. How did I get that negative 12x again?
because you add the like terms.
I add these. This is what's hard to get in your brain. I'm telling you, this is difficult. What did we do with this term and this term?
Times them.
We times them. And what did we do with this term and this term?
Times them.
And this term and this term?
Times them.
And then all of a sudden, what do we do?
Add.
That throws people off. Okay? Here I am multiplying the whole time, and then all of a sudden, after I get my boxes filled in, what do? Add. And you want to write that in your notes, out to the side here. Once you get the boxes filled in, you've got to what? Add. Don't what? Don't multiply. Right? You've been multiplying the whole time, and now all of a sudden I'm what? I'm adding, and that makes it tough. People forget that. They want to try and multiply those, and I end up with a 35x half the time. Okay, make sure you multiply, then add. Okay, let's do the last one. What do you want to draw? A what by what? Row by
2 by
column.
2 by 3.
2 by 3. I like doing the rows smaller myself. So I want to go like this. So I'd rather have 2 rows and 3 what? Columns. Everybody with me? 2 rows, 3 columns. What goes on the left side for this one? Let's ask Destiny. What will go on the left side for this one?
5x and negative 2.
Yeah, 5x and negative 2.
Whoa.
Okay.
Negative 5x.
Where did I get 5x?
We're doing the last one?
We're doing the last one on the top. Oh wait, she shouldn't be though. She should be doing what? X what? We haven't done it yet, have
X
we?
squared.
Yeah, let's do the x and then what? Negative 7. Sorry, we shouldn't be doing the last one. Let's do x minus 7. Sorry. And then what goes on the top? Alejandro, what goes on the top?
X squared minus 3x plus 2.
X squared minus 3x plus 2. Okay. What's your name? What's her name? Alex? Allie. Allie, what's this first box going to be? What's the
X.
first box going to be?
X and
X to the third. Yep, very good. X cubed. What did she do with the exponents?
Added it.
Added them. Very good. Okay, Brody, what's this box right here?
Negative 3x squared.
Good. What did he do with the exponents?
Add 'em.
Added them. Okay, I like to go straight across the row. All right. What's your name? Tristan?
Tyson.
Tyson. I got Tristan in my last line. Okay, Tyson. What's this going to be?
K, with a
2x.
K.
Tyson. What is it again?
Tyson. K.
Tyson. All right, Tyson. Tyson. 2x right there, right? Tyson, what's this one?
It's negative 7x squared.
Good. What's the next one? This is one of the harder ones, okay? The next one. Trinity, what's the next one?
21x.
21. How come's positive?
Because 2 negatives equals a
Negative times a negative is a positive. X. That's it. Okay, positive there. Okay? And then Sid, what's the last box?
Negative 14.
Okay. Is that my answer? Am I done?
No.
No. I've got to add
Like terms.
across the parallel lines. If you'll draw just some parallel lines in there. And then just add across those parallel lines. I like to write my answer at the bottom, just kind of going with the tip of that parallel line. You with me? So I'm going to write x what? Cubed. And then with the tip of this parallel line, I'm going to write minus 10x what? Squared. Don't forget the square, and don't forget that you're subtracting. Again, I see a lot of kids want to write 21 there because they're used to multiplying. But you've got to add, okay? Now you got to add these. What do I get on the next one?
23x.
23x. And then the last one is minus 14. All right, that was pretty nice. That wasn't too bad. It's pretty slick. Really all I'm just doing is distributing, by the way. I'm distributing the x through. And then I'm distributing the negative what through? 7. I'm just putting it in a table to make it easier to understand, right? That isn't really super necessary when I do multiplication, honestly. I could probably just distribute and then add like terms with no problem when I'm multiplying. But that type of organization comes in really handy when we're going to what? Divide, which is what we're doing next, okay? So let's do the division ones and see how these work. Now this is tricky, okay? So pay very, very good attention when we're doing division. Okay, so I'm going to do a simple one first. We're just going to do the 2x. Everybody with me where I'm at? And I'm going to divide this into, how come I drew my box like that? There's only 2 terms. Now here's where people mess up. They put their terms in right away. Don't do that. The only term I put in when I'm doing division is the very first box. Because remember, when I'm doing division, it's got to go in the boxes, right? So I'm going to start out with what? 8x what? Squared. What do I ask myself now? We'll make the 8. And what do I need to make the x squared? X. 4 and the x. Okay? So 4x and the 2. Well, what the heck? I don't even have, okay. So that's 4x. That gives me my 8x squared. Where's the 10x coming in then?
In the other
Top of the
box.
bottom.
So should I put a 10x here?
Yeah.
Okay. How many times will 2x go into the 10x?
5.
5. Not 5x. No? Okay. And what do I put here?
Add.
Yep, that's my answer. That was easy, huh? So when it's a 2 by 1, super easy. Watch how confusing it gets though when we do 2, which is the very next one. So here's what we're going to put. We're going to put an x and a negative 7. This is just an x, right? Everybody agree with that? No one's confused yet, right? This is where everybody kind of gets confused. What has to happen is, this now creates a multiplication problem with the second term. This is where it gets confusing. This x has to get multiplied to what? The negative 7. So x times negative 7 has to go in this bottom box. This bottom row is going to cause us some problems here. This becomes what?
Negative 7x.
Negative 7x. But what I want the x's to be is negative what? Look at the problem.
Negative 4.
So yeah, the actual problem said I have x squared minus 12x plus 35. I wish this was negative what?
12.
But it's not. What would I have to add? Because remember, inside we're adding. What would I have to add to negative 7 to make it negative 12?
Negative
Positive or negative?
Negative 5.
This is what goes in the next box. That's what confuses kids. Now, if you think about it, up here, right, needs to get that middle term. Everybody with me now on how it kind of makes sense, maybe? This one right here. How did I get the 23x? I had to add these two. So if I'm dividing, I've got to think, oh, wait.